Maharajani Jai. Gunatitanand Swami Maharajani Jai. Bhagat Ji Maharajani Jai. Shastri Ji Maharajani Jai. Yogi Ji Maharajani Jai. Pramukh Swami Maharajani Jai. Mahant Swami Maharajani Jai. Pramukh Swami Maharaj Shatabdi Mahotsavni Jai. Akshardham Mahotsavni Jai. ગુણાતીતાનંદ સ્વામી એમની વાતોમાં કહે છે કે આપણે જાણીએ છીએ જે કે આપણને ભગવાનમાં હેત છે, પણ આપના કરતા તો આપના ઉપર ભગવાનને ને સાધુને જાજુ હેત છે. In October 2016, Mahant Sai Maharaj was in Bhavnagar, and after his morning puja, a few santos that had come from Sarampur, they put a teddy bear har on Bapa. And at the bottom of the har, the word love was written out. So one of the santos, he mentioned to Swami કે પ્રમુખ સાઈ મહારાજ એક વખત બોલેલા કે I love you all. તો આપ પણ અમને બધાને પ્રેમ કરજો. And just like Gunatitanand Swami, Mahant Sai Maharaj told that sadhu કે તમે અમને પ્રેમ કરો છો, પણ તેનાથી અધિક અમે તમને પ્રેમ કરીએ છીએ. It's difficult for us to understand what Gunatitanand Swami means by Jaju Het, or what Mahant Sai Maharaj means by Adhik Prem, because our definition of love is limited. Our love comes with conditions, expectations, man, while the Satpurush's love is unconditional, without any expectations and no hidden motives. Our love, as Sriji Maharaj mentions in Pratham 44, is Ardu Jagatma and Ardu Satpurushma. In December 2011, Pramukh Sai Maharaj was in Mumbai, and his morning routine then was such that when Bapa would come downstairs for darshan, he would meet Hari Bhakta from far, under the gumat of the mandir. And also from there, Santo would give parichay of the Hari Bhaktas. So one morning, in the middle of this mulakat, a Hari Bhakt started singing really loudly, Ke sacha santa seve, sevya nath sevya sura sahune, sevya mukta muni rushi sath bija sevya bahune. And he was singing so nicely that everyone that was seated there in that mandir, they automatically quieted down. The whole environment felt divine. Even the other Hari Bhaktas that were seated there, they were swaying and engrossed in Swami's darshan. And I remember thinking that this guy has a lot of Mahima and love for Bapa. And then all of a sudden, the Hari Bhakt that was singing, he yells out, કે બાપા આજે મારા બાબાનું લગ્ન છે ને હું વિઝા માટે લાઈનમાં છું તો દ્રષ્ટિ રાખજો. Our love is matlabi, while his love is genuine. But it's because Pramukh Sai Maharaj, Mahant Sai Maharaj's prakriti isn't such that they'll tell you that they love you 10 times in the day, that we don't understand how much they truly love us. In August of 2016, after Swami Shri returned to Dham, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he came to Sanapur for Pramukh Sai Maharaj's last darshan. And after he did darshan and arti, and before leaving, he briefly met Mahant Sai Maharaj, Sadguru Santos, and some other senior Santos. And in that meeting, he turned to Mahant Sai Maharaj and he said, Ke mari ek mangni che. Now everyone in that room at that point was taken aback for a few seconds that what would the Prime Minister of India want from a sadhu? And Narendra Modi, he says, Ke Pramukh Swami dar varshe mara lehenga jeba mate vastuno tanko mokalta to e chalu rakjo. Everyone in that room was surprised because no one knew ke Bapa atli badi sambhal rakhta. These were the guys that Bapa consulted for major decisions, all the Sadguru Santos, senior Santos, yet no one in that room knew about any of this. Pramukh Sai Maharaj's love, as Mahant Sai Maharaj many times has put it, was a silent love. in February 2014, there was a Ladu program organized by the Santos where Swami Baba went out in the garden behind Sarvasva to serve all the Santos Ladus. And so when Bapa came out, he first started with Kothai Bapa and Vivekasagar Swami. And just before the other Santos started lining up, Bapa turned to us and he goes, "Ke mara nawa jo upar se." So right away we took Bapa inside the room. Now, this actually started the night before. The night before, he had some discomfort in his stomach, and that had then led to diarrhea. And so that night, Bapa had gone about 4 to 5 times. And the next day, the day of the Ladu program, he had gone about 6 times. So in total, up until this point, Bapa had gone about 10 to 11 times. So in the garden, when he said, "Ke mara nawa jo upar se," we right away took him into the room. And it was decided then that the Ladu program be postponed, and that once Swami is done showering, he would give quick darshan to the Santos and Hari Bhaktas who were waiting outside by the ramp area. And then after that, he needs to rest. So once he was done showering, everything was going according to plan. He gave everyone darshan, came inside, and as his wheelchair was turning towards the bedroom, Baba started pointing towards the garden. So Yogi Swami, he tried to explain to Baba that due to his diarrhea and discomfort, the doctors are advising that he rests and that we can do the Ladu program some other day. But Bapa kept his agra. And so we had no choice, but we took him outside in the garden. And that day, he served about 300 Santos, Parshads, and Sadhaks. Now, when you have so much discomfort, uneasiness, when you don't even feel like looking at food, at a time like that, to serve so many people, and if you look at the pictures from that day, એમના મુખારવિંદ ઉપર જે આનંદ છે, કોઈકને લાડુ ફેંકીને પીરસે, કોઈકને હાથો પીરસે, કોઈકને મુખારવિંદ ઉપર સીધું મોઢામાં નાખીને પીરસે. And he didn't give anyone even the slightest hint of his pain and discomfort that day. And as soon as he finished serving everyone and he came inside, and Bapa turned to us and he goes, "Ke mara nawa jo upar se." This was his silent love. This was his Jaju hit. He cared more about us, about our sukh, than he did for himself. In 2010, Bapa had come from Ahmedabad to Sanampur. And so Dr. Nikul, who was in Seva at that time, he thought that since Bapa's not in a city and in a village, there'll be less mulakats, and so more time can be given to Swami's EECP treatment. Now, this was a treatment for Swamiji's heart to reduce the number and intensity of angina episodes. But when Dr. Nikul asked Bapa that since he has more time now for EECP, how about we move from once a week to twice a week? But Bapa right away shut him down, saying ke samay nathi. So Dr. Nikul, he tried to explain the benefits of this treatment to Bapa to get him to kind of agree to doing it twice a week. But Bapa argued back, saying ke મને ખબર છે કે આ ટ્રીટમેન્ટ કરવાથી ઘણો બધો લાભ થાય છે. મને પણ એવો અનુભવ થયો છે. પણ આપણે ક્યાં નવરા છીએ, આપણે ક્યાં સમય છે. આમાં જો સમય જશે તો આ પત્રો અને મુલાકાતો રહી જશે. He knew how beneficial EECP was for his heart. He himself experienced it. Yet, he chose to give more time to our letters, mulakats, and kangis. In March of 2012, Swami Bapa was in Sanampur. And for a few days, he had been coughing, but it was getting worse. And now suddenly, he was having difficulty breathing while doing his exercises and walking. He was complaining of chest pains, back pains. And one night at around 2:30, he even woke us up to massage his body. So right away the next day, the doctors were called from Ahmedabad, and they did all sorts of medical tests that went on till 12:30 at night. And it was diagnosed then that Swamiji has an angina issue. But Bapa wasn't told yet. So the whole time he was lying down on his bed, once the medical tests were done, we started helping him sit up. And so as he was sitting up, across from his bed, he saw Dr. Bajaria, who runs our Ahmedabad hospital. And now, the whole time, Dr. Bajaria was standing there across from Bapa's bed, but Bapa hadn't seen him yet because Bapa was lying down. And so as we were getting him up, he saw Dr. Bajaria standing there. And so right away, Bapa called him near. Now, if you think about it, Bapa still has difficulty breathing. His chest hurts. He doesn't even know what's wrong with him yet. There are doctors in the room. They're about to tell him what the issue is. It's natural that for us at a time like that, for anyone in fact, to just ask the doctors that, hey, what's wrong with me? It's natural that we think about ourselves first. But instead of that, as soon as Bapa saw Dr. Bajaria, he called him close and he asked Dr. Bajaria, "Ke Ramcharan Swami ne kem che?" because Ramcharan Swami had been in the hospital for a few days. He himself is in pain, yet he's more worried about